I think we did surprise ourselves with how well the performances, the subtleties of performance came through, and how well, for example, Sigourney her performance mapped to being a 14-year-old girl, and you don't question it. Have we talked before?
We have. I actually did the first Avatar junket here in London.
Okay, so that was kind of epic.
Well, this was worth the wait.
Okay, good.
Good. This is incredible, and I'm a diver, so everything.
So you know what we're talking about here, right? The wonder. Now, a lot of it is written very small. If you look very closely, you see the amazing things. So we just make them bigger in the movie.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've never had a dive experience quite like a James Cameron Avatar film, because this took it to a new level.
Okay, good.
I'm going to start out with a really basic question, because you're all about the feeling that a moviegoer gets and the experience.
Exactly.
How are you feeling?
Oh, I feel good. I feel good. Yeah. I'm over my jet lag. Been here for a couple days, promoting the film.
Yeah.
And we're getting good feedback. And I like it that people are picking up on the things that we were throwing down, about the family and the father-son and the conflicts and the bonds and all that stuff, and not getting too preoccupied with the technology and the animation and all that part of it. This is all about reminding people what that big screen experience can be, right? And we set ourselves that challenge, with the 3D and the high frame rate, and with the new laser projection and so on, all that stuff, and the 3D. I mean, it's really an unparalleled experience that you can't have in the home.
It's interesting. It's also an experience that divers or people who don't dive will now get. How did you create a moment that's better than actually what you can experience in real life?
I think if you take a camera into our real ocean, you bring it back. So many people have been so excited to do that for so long, from Jacques Cousteau on, that it's now like it's recognizable imagery, and we've all seen it. And sometimes with science fiction and fantasy, you have to step outside and look back at our world kind of in a mirror or through that fantasy lens to really appreciate what we have. So I'm synthesizing together my whole life underwater, 50 years of diving in submersibles, going to the deepest places. Some of the best dives are the shallowest dives, as you know, right? 15 feet of water with the beautiful sunlight coming down in the coral and the small fish and nudibranchs and all the little, invertebrate animals. Some of the best dives are the shallow dives or the night dives with the bioluminescence, right? So how do you synthesize all that and bring that sense of wonder to people that aren't divers? Well, you kind of make it all a little bit bigger, and you create some kind of fantasy movement for the creatures and that sort of thing. But we all, I think, subconsciously have this connection to the ocean, even if we're not divers. I don't know if it's like a memory of being in the womb for 9 months. I don't know if it's some kind of memory that goes back through time, many generations, maybe back to when we all lived in the ocean. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I feel it. I feel it when I'm underwater. Most divers do.
Yeah. Well, you'll feel it whether you dive or not after this film.
Right.
It is such a reflection of family as well.
That too, yeah.
So many great moments, from taking the family photo that the kids dread. Like, there are so many nuances with the family, but it got me wondering, when was James Cameron as a young kid in trouble for doing something he wasn't supposed to, and he got grounded?
I can remember very distinctly a number of occasions, right? Look, so we all go through it in our teenage years. We all go through conflict, tension with our parents as we grow, as we individuate, as we rebel, and kind of cast ourselves out of the family, and then come crawling back later and realizing how important family is. And I've been on both sides of that now. I've got 5 kids, so I've been through the teen angst from the parents' side now. And I just felt it was time for me to write about that, and inject that into this world building that we do, and use it to kind of ground the story in some kind of universal reality that people feel everywhere.
Yeah, you don't have to be a parent to get the tissues out for this one. It is just so great. A few years ago, I think I had one of the best experiences of my entire life when 20th Century brought us to Wellington, and we got to do the Alita Battle Angel experience.
Oh, I heard about that. I mean, I wasn't able to be there, but I heard it was great.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. Robert Rodriguez playing the guitar as we were in the suits.
That's Robert. That's right. Oh, you were in the suit?
I was in the suit.
They got you in the suit.
I did a whole week of stories on this.
So you know what that experience is like. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's role playing. You get to see yourself playing a completely different character.
But I wanted to ask you on that experience. I asked Robert, what surprised you the most, having been given the reins by you to do this in this world? And he said he was surprised that technology didn't get in the way, and he was surprised at how much Rosa and the other, mainly Rosa's, her performance came through.
Yeah.
You are the king of this stuff. But what was the biggest surprise, having done the second one, even though you know this world better than anybody?
I think we did surprise ourselves with how well the performances, the subtleties of performance came through, and how well, for example, Sigourney her performance mapped to being a 14-year-old girl, and you don't question it. I don't question it. Most people haven't, and I find that she's really a favorite amongst the characters for a lot of people. And she's just such a luminous character. She's just so beautiful, and so we managed to capture kind of Sigourney's inner flame in a way. At the age of 69, when she was doing this work, she's playing a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old. It's pretty amazing.
Congratulations.
Well, thanks.